welcome to the Underground, my little underground with Peter A.
It's My Little Underground. I'm Peter A. Returning to the show, we have Thanya Iyer, all the way from Montreal, to discuss her brand new album, Tide. And we also got into some of the concepts of the album, like staying motivated and belonging to a community. And speaking of which, Thanya discusses her communal relationship with her bandmates and an immersive experience she has coming up. And she also gives me some great recommendations from artists in her hometown of Montreal. So please help me welcome back to My Little Underground, Thanya Iyer.
My little underground.
Big congrats on your new tremendous album, Tide. You just made your way in the States recently. You were in New York, you were at Cassette, and that's in my old neighborhood of Ridgewood. How was that show? What's that space like?
I loved it. It was so nice. It's like you go down the stairs and then you enter this little sweet basement. And it was really sweet. The people who worked there were so sweet. Um, yeah, just good vibes. I think there's a good community like attached to the venue. And that's like what fills our cup on the tour when we can like, yeah, lock in with such good crew.
Can we talk about the concept of low tides?
Yeah.
And I really just been really feeling this song because it's just the way I'm feeling about the rest of the world and the way society is right now, especially here in the States. I think this album really kind of resonated with me, not just politically, but personally and like, kind of professionally as well. Now, how have you ever felt that you couldn't dream at all when pursuing music? And if so, what helped you gain the strength to keep going?
That's a really good
Yeah.
question. Um, I've totally felt that. Just like I think sometimes, especially when you get bogged down in like all of the logistical work that it takes to do the music and coordinate, like, and like, I don't know, like in the fall, like I was having such a like mental health like journey of just like really like coming to terms with a lot of things that, had been walking with me for my whole life. And like, it's like funny the way you phrase that question is like almost like a lyric in a new song that's not even on this album. And like, it was just like, yeah, like feeling like, oh, like maybe I can dream again, but you need that spaciousness. And I'm realizing like you need to connect with like your creativity and like do the things that nourish you. And yeah, low tides specifically was like it was a downer. Like it was like just like yeah, written in like that moment where it's just like you're so like numb and stuck and um yeah.
How do you keep going?
How do you keep going? I think it is like connecting to your people and to your art. Like I think and I'm feeling that so much more like as like an artist who's like really had to like steer my own ship for a really long time and like all of the little pieces that had to come together to make like the album and the videos and everything possible like I realized through making it that like oh like I can't do all of I can't like be the person who always steers this ship because it takes me away from the music and like really like being in the music. And I realized Tide was written, a lot of it was written in that beginning part of the pandemic where every single day I was writing music. Like, and there's something really special that happens when you commit to your craft every day. And that's how like this album came to be. And I think I'm learning that like that's like getting to like talk about it now again and like remembering that like that's why there's an album is because of that daily like love and care for myself and like care for my needs and like rest. Like it was really like yeah, that's kind of how I have to keep going, like just connecting to the art and the people who help make the art and who listen to the art and the shows, like yeah.
Making the music, creating it all, and working
Yeah.
with people to make the music is your strength.
Yeah. Yeah.
When it comes to the collaborative process on this album, now, as far as like first with like the concept, right? Do you have a concrete loose concept of this album, or is it more just an overarching theme that people can create their own meaning? What's your thought process behind this?
Like in terms of like musically or like with for what people like listeners to
Oh yeah,
grasp.
like any concepts you're discussing in the music, your lyrics or anything.
Yeah.
Like is it like a like this song is about this, or it's like create what you will?
Yeah, I love when people create what they will because I feel like that's that's like how I want to present the music to people of just like I do have like really some I think more than ever like some really concrete themes of what like inspired each song, but I feel like they're really personal, but they're also really universal and people can like pull their own stories and journeys from them for sure.
Yeah, because
And
you have a lot of tide and waves references in the titles. Same with Kind. Kind was very water, a lot of water going on.
water going on. Yeah.
Yes. I mean, the album cover is literally for Tide specifically, like you're on fire and there's a big
Yeah.
wave coming down, you know?
Definitely. Pompey, I was like came up with that
Yeah.
concept and it it really like I feel like because we see each other every day, so it's like he really knows kind of like a lot of my struggle and like there's this yeah like quiet optimistic like things are burning right now. I'm burning, but like we're ready for the change. Like we're ready for the wave to come and like wash us and like let us restart and yeah.
Yeah, the wave is not a threat. It's healing,
No. Yeah, it's
which is great.
the crash of transformation.
Yeah, yeah. And sonically, of course, tons of instrumentation going on here. You know, kind of like Peel Tree magazines, Rose
Oh,
Maiden Reading Group.
I
So
loved
many
that
things going
album.
on. So many
Yeah.
things happening. Um, for you here, is it are you communicating with your bandmates like as to what is going to sound, you know, when things come in or not, or how you want things to sound? Is it more of a collaborative process? Like what is your thought process here on like from an arrangement point of view?
Yeah, so it's like we've always been a very like improvising. Like for Kind, we had like 10 different bed tracks for one song. But for this one, since I had space with it because of the pandemic, like I had all of these like string arrangements and demos, and I kind of knew like, okay, like this is happening in this song, so maybe we don't we we make space for that. And like Pompey and Daniel and Emily are like visionary songwriters and arrangers in their own right. And um in the end they'll like bring like in the shows like we come from like we're trying to make this arrangement and like create like a vision together and then people will take it in their unique directions and I like that and want that to be a part of the like magic of the live show and but for the album yeah there were a lot of arrangements that happened and some surprises too
Which is
always
well, yeah, which is definitely great. So when you're jamming or
yeah
improvising, I guess,
yeah.
how do you turn those into songs?
Mm. Well, usually it's like it starts with like the skeleton that I bring. So maybe if I have like a tiny idea, then it like when we jam it, it turns into like something else. Um, so yeah, it's a little, I guess like the jam to song, we haven't fully done that yet, but It would be fun. Like there's a lot of jams that happen like in between songs during shows that I'm always like, this is a great song, but then it's there and then it's gone. So we have to record them and see how we can build.
When it comes to, you mentioned like your live performance and interacting with your bandmates, is a lot of your live performance like exactly how the song is, we're gonna do it with some little tweaks, or is it completely improvised?
Yeah, it used to be more improvised. Now we're trying to like kind of feel out like how the arrangement feels, but we don't really talk about the tweaks that happen beforehand. Like it depends like on the room that we're playing in. Like, do we need to play a section harder or louder to like meet the energy of a crowd? Like it's really like it's fluid for sure. And so the arrangements are like really like the vision of just like what we created together. And then it has to go. We get I think I get bored really fast and like want to go somewhere different too. So if something cool happens, then it's like a new cool thing that'll be a part of the fabric of the song.
Do you have sheet music at all?
No, no sheet music.
Because your
Yeah.
arrangements are so complicated.
Well, the string
Yeah.
players wrote some sheet music for them actually.
Wow.
Um, I did write all of their string parts, and it actually like how I made the string parts was for some of them I just tried writing them in, but like mostly I just play violin layers on a demo and then transcribe those arrangements. And they're usually like the first things that come on the recording. Like my first ideas, I'll just like write those out because they're usually the most organic ones.
You feel like your bandmates really are playing what you're feeling, like how you wanted something to sound. They know exactly what you were thinking in that moment. Is that right?
Mm. No, I would say no, like
Really?
not even not all the time. And because they're just like their own visionaries and like they're like we're all just listening to each other, you know? Like it's less like a knowing of what each other because we all have such different tastes, but it's really like when we really lock in and when we really listen to each other and what people are playing, then other people are really like, yeah, it's like talking to each other. And in those moments, it can get really special.
Yeah. That being said, like some of your bandmates are your producers as well, along with yourself.
Exactly.
And this communal process. Now, was this evident in kind? More so, less than?
It kind of started with kind, the communal process, like us really like kind of bringing each of our visions into the music, and it became like more and more communal. And then yeah, and then I brought a little more of my vision into this album in terms of like the like more like the choral and string arrangements that are on there and yeah.
And when it comes to the kind and tide, because you're sonically unconventional, right? And nothing you do is normal in the best way. Um, After you were finished recording kind and you were thinking about tide, is it
hmm
completely different? Do you start from scratch or are you building off previous sonic ideas?
Um, well, I guess like all of them are songs that have written. Some of these songs were written like during the release of Kind and knowing that they would like be for later. Like it's always building. Yeah. Always like moving and growing in whatever direction pulls.
So you said you get bored easily. So when you're finished a concept and you want to make something new to release or even for yourself, um, is it like it's a blank canvas or like you said, like you're building off something you started previously?
Yeah, well, it's funny, like even thematically, I feel like Tide is like almost like a sequel of like a Kind was about like self-love and like looking inwards, and Tide is like looking outwards and like into like our collective, like, because it's really about healing, and we can't heal not in community. Like that relational healing is such a part of like where we need to move towards. And yeah, so I do feel like it's like, yeah, it's like where we have to go next.
What's your community?
My community, there's a lot of really great little communities that we're part of through touring. And then in Montreal, there's just like an amazing community of friends and artists who are so supportive and supportive of each other. And there's a lot of collaboration and a lot of just like peer support and sharing of ideas. And yeah, it's a really great. I love the Montreal music scene. It's wonderful. And the art scene.
Tell me more about the Montreal music scene. Like, who are you listening to now? Who should I be paying attention to from Montreal?
I really love well, first I should start with my band because everyone in the band is an amazing songwriter. Pompey is putting out a new album. Emily Kahn just released an amazing album. Daniel goes by You, Yourself, and I, and is just a beautiful songwriter. Some collaborators who played on the album, like Corey Gulkin, Eve Parker Finley, Cedric Noel, did a live session with us and just put out also a beautiful album. Yeah, like there's L'une très belle is Frédéric Roy, who sang on this album. Common Holly sang on this album. Sarah Rossi. Just like everyone's like a heavy hitter. And I feel like, oh my God, like I'm not even naming all of the names because it's just, there's so many collaborators on this album whom I love so much, and I love their artistry. Um, our friend Adam, who plays in the band, has this big community project called The Air Contains Honey that we're also a part of. And there's like dance involved, and like it's like poems and like quotes, and like it's like very like communal. It's like a mix of like musicians and non-musicians who like just artists who are like singing and like improvising. Like, yeah, it's just like a good vibe. And yeah, there's so much.
Can you send me links of your favorite
I'll
stuff
send
from
you.
Montreal?
I'll
Please,
send you so many links, Peter, after this.
please do.
Yeah,
I want to listen. I want to know what's
yeah,
going on. That's
yeah,
not curated from an algorithm, you know?
definitely.
Tell
Can't
me
be.
about your immersive album experience that you have coming up at Phi in Montreal. Did I say that right?
Yeah, Phi
Ah,
Center. So, this is really fun because we recorded our
Phi.
album through a residency that they had um a little outside of Montreal. They have like this really nice space, and then they also mixed our album in Dolby Atmos. So if you're listening on Apple Music, you can have like a surround sound listening experience.
Wow.
Um, and yeah, like kind of before the album was even recorded, I was just like, I messaged them and I was just like, I kind of like feel like for this, we need to do something like more multimedia. So we're gonna have the strings and the choir, the full band. We're gonna have some a really great 3D artists doing visuals. There's gonna be some set design. There's gonna be some outfit changes. There's gonna be cake as a cake offering for people after the show. And there's gonna be like it's gonna be a surround sound experience. So there's speakers like all around the room. Um, that like when you're in the audience like listening, like you can our sound engineer who we've traveled with on our tours like is going to be like mixing the show. Maybe the harp will twirl around the room, or like the strings will move, like playing with a lot of like also vocal effects that move around the room, like the reverbs and the delays, like so it's gonna be quite a ride. And yeah, I'm really excited to share it with folks.
Is this going to be streamed live or you have to be there?
You do have to be there,
Okay.
but we'll hopefully record some video that we can share.
Did you ever do KEXP?
We haven't done a
You
KEXP
haven't.
yet.
I feel like
Yeah.
that's going to come. Something tells me, something tells me
Oh,
that
you're calling
you'll be
it.
there. Yeah.
That would be such a dream.
They would
Yeah.
love you. You listen to KEXP at all?
I like love I've watched so many of their sessions. It's great. Like we were talking about Peel Dream, like I
Oh,
love their session.
yep.
Like, yeah.
I think you'll just fit in, right? You know, they're perfect for you. They love you. They love your stuff. So I feel that's gonna come, and I'm curious to see what your session would be like.
Oh,
That would be a kind of a trip in the best way.
wow. Yeah, I look forward to it.
Yeah, me too. Let's manifest that.
We're manifesting
Yeah.
today.
Let's talk about some of the your closing phrases on waves
Mm.
hold tide. You'd said something that really stuck with me. Try to
Mm.
remember you are a part of something. What's the something that we're all a part of?
Mm. That's so it's a really good question. It feels like I don't know, like the something is like what we're a part of. It's like we all have these like interconnected stories going on and we meet in the way and we're all on this earth at the same time, this really wild, kind of scary time. And there's so many beautiful people on it just doing like giving so much care and working so hard and we're a part of all of it. The stories, like the relationships that we have, that's the something. Like that's I feel like that's the meaning of life is like the people in our lives and the friends who take care of us and yeah, even the people we don't know who are like having interconnected like experiences that are the same as us that I don't know, like there's so many things going on in the background and I'm like, can we like slow down to listen to what that is and just know that there's an energy right out there that we can tap into and that's like because of each other. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think
It could start with, I guess, your family or your circle, your
yeah,
broader community that you live in.
exactly.
Start there. You know,
It's
you're part of
there.
that as well.
Yeah, oh my gosh. That's a huge thing and I feel like that's kind of like I went to India at the beginning of the year and I hadn't been in like over 10 years and like when a family like immigrates like there's so much you lose like culturally and it was just like even like being in the noise of like the streets I was like wow like this like lives in me like there's this like organized chaos happening here that is also inside me and it's like you forget like all of the little pieces of you and yeah like family is at the center of that culture is at the center of that yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot to think about and to kind of
Mhm.
unpack about
Yeah.
tide,
Yeah.
and we're all going to create our own meanings from it. Whatever. I'm
Oh,
sure when you tour again and you go on the road, some people are going to say something different that they've taken from this album. I guarantee it.
I'm really excited. I feel like this album is a slow burn. That's what I feel like it needs that slowness. It asks for slowness and spaciousness and how we operate in the world. And it's okay that it will take a long time to like sit. And I think that's the best.
It asks for your time, not so much of your time, but I think you're rewarded. This album is about 40 minutes, but there's a lot going on in the
Yeah.
best way.
Thank you, Peter.
Absolutely. Now, Thonia, this is your time. You can plug away, tell people how they can get your album in your preferred way or however people can hear music.
Yeah. So Um, the best way to get the music is to come to a show and get our music. We're gonna do like a jazz fest tour in Canada in the summer and come to the launch if you're close by in Montreal. But the other best way is to go on Bandcamp, go on Top Shelf, um, get the album, and then streaming, of course, on everywhere. It is always there, and it is a place that you can listen to music. Um, yeah,
Great. Thank you so much for your time, Thonia. This is a great album. I appreciate you putting it out into the world.
I should correct you on my name, Peter. But you said like the usually people say like Tanya,
Uh-huh.
and that's but so you were like mostly there.
Mostly there.
Yeah, Thanya Iyer.
Thanya. Okay.
Yeah, perfect.
Thanya. So it's a
Yeah. Oh,
Thanya,
that's
Thanya Iyer. Ah, that's it.
uh
Yeah, I remember when we last spoke, it's not Thanya,
oh, we
Thanya.
talked about it. Yeah.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
yeah, and with the soft TH like Thanya, because usually people say like Thanya, like
Mm-hmm.
very soft, but Tanya or Thanya is perfect.
Thanya. Okay. Great.
Perfect. That's it.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you, Peter. This was so nice to talk to you again.
My little underground.